What's up guys, my name is Phil, welcome back to Miranda Detailing. In today's video we're going to be doing a full detail on this little Mercedes SL 550. So the SL 550 is in for our diamond service, so that's a full interior and exterior, so no polishing, no interior protection, no coatings, anything like that. This is one of our most popular services because it's priced just right. It starts at $275 to $300 depending on the vehicle and the condition, and it's just a good overall cleaning and protection on the outside. So we will do the full washing, clay barring, we'll see if there's any tar. We may do some iron removal on the wheels, but we don't always use iron remover on the paint for these details. We only will do that when we are going to polish the vehicle, paint enhancements, corrections, coatings, things like that. Then the full interior, so we'll clean everything on the interior. It does have a light cream leather and carpet. And surprisingly, it's really not too bad. The driver's side is the worst, and unfortunately the passenger side seat doesn't go up and back and forth. So that's gonna have to stay put as it sits, unfortunately. So, but that's okay. This little thing is going to get cleaned up, and we're going to be using some Koch Chemie products. So they're gentle snow foam, and they're Green Star. Now, you saw how we mixed the gentle snow foam. I'm not too worried about the dilution ratios in there. I only filled it up about halfway with water, and then just a couple of glugs, a couple of ounces of shampoo, and then I put a couple of ounces of the Green Star in it. That's optional. That makes it an active shampoo. So it just, you know, raises the pH and boosts the cleaning power of the shampoo. And I'm going to use it on this vehicle because it's pretty grungy, pretty dirty, and I want to get it nice and squeaky clean. So let's look at the befores, let's look at the vehicle before we start washing it. And remember guys, if you're enjoying videos like this, or if you're new here, consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss stuff. And don't forget to look at the description below. I'll have links there to all of the products and tools that we use. And if I forgot something in there, just message me and I'll try to send you a link. And those will go to either Amazon or Car Supplies Warehouse. So here's the little SL 550. The worst part is going to be down below. All of the grime and junk from the road. The front wheels aren't too bad. I think they just rotated them because the rear wheels are really caked on. So we're going to really clean these well. And like I had mentioned, I may just use an iron remover wheel cleaner on these. And I'll show you a really affordable cleaner that you can use. Now, this cleaner, I think they updated the bottles, and it's kind of difficult to find online. I don't know why they did this. It's made from Eagle One. Lots of guys were using it a couple of years ago, and I think some just kind of forgot about it. But I picked up a bunch of bottles, and I think Marshall's or TJ Maxx, for some reason they had them there on the shelf, so I picked a bunch of them up at about $2.50 a bottle. So you'll see what we use for that. And as far as the inside goes, as you see, light colored interior, and there's some foot marks there. The carpets definitely need to be shampooed, so we'll hit those with the extractor. Everything else we can steam clean and scrub the leather down. So it's actually, there might be a little bit of wear there, but then as we look to the passenger side, not too bad, and we can't move that seat at all, so it has to stay put, unfortunately. But everything else, really, it's not too bad in here. And as we look around the vehicle, these are some things you want to take note of and let the customer know. There's some things like this. So the gloss black pieces here, part of the hardtop convertible, starting to wear away. They always do that. Bird droppings, things like that might etch into the paint after we clean them. There's some more wear marks there. Yep, so these just start to deteriorate over time. It's a whole glass top here, so that's good. We don't have to worry about paint on there. Just these little sections here for the top, and that's about it. But everything else is looking pretty good. There is something a little weird about the front grille here that I noticed. It doesn't sit well, so it kind of sticks out. I'm not sure what happened there, but we won't mess with that too much. But everything else looks good. Always double check these to make sure there's nothing broken, nothing snapped. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, so let's get started on this. Let's start with the rinsing, APC rinsing, and then we'll get to contact washing. So this is the Eagle One triple cleaning foam. It is the black and plastic coat cleaner. They have a bunch of different versions of wheel cleaners, but this one has the active ingredient to break down the brake dust and the iron particles. Now the packaging has changed. Again, I picked up a ton of these bottles, so the packaging has changed. I'll try to find it online if I can. For some reason I can't find them on Amazon, but there are a few other places, so I'll put links to these down below. I got this, it was at Ross Dress for Less. It's like a TJ's or a Marshall's. Look, for $2.49. So that was a pretty awesome find. But this stuff is very effective, as you see, and we'll use it, you know, when we clean the tires and the wheels primarily, and you'll see how it works. For now, let's foam it down with the Koch Chemie Green Star and Gentle Snow Foam mixture. So everything is cleaned, it's dried, and let's just take a quick look before we start protecting it. Look how nice these wheels cleaned up. That was just using the Eagle One cleaner. So it has the active iron remover, and it does have a cleaner built in. So it's a full wheel cleaner with the iron removal in it. So if you can find that locally, then it's an awesome product. And look at the back wheel. Look how nice it cleaned up. All the way in the barrels. Cleans up beautifully. Not bad at all. Very happy with that. So now, paint is cleaned, clay barred, dried, squeaky clean. All the trim was just hit with Stoner's Trim Shine. So the windshield cowl, these little plastic pieces, the front grille pieces, the engine we just dried and dressed, as you saw, and we're using this stuff. I just have a little bit left from Xtreme Solutions. White Rally, a water-based dressing for both interior and exterior. Yeah, so this stuff is great, but I have just a little bit left. I need to get more. Love this stuff, and it smells really good too. Kind of like a coconutty type of smell to it. So now as we look at the paint, it's a little rough, and the clay bar and the clay mitt did mar it up just a little bit. So what we're going to do to correct that, as you can see here, see, but the paint really wasn't such bad shape anyway. It does not matter. So don't worry, when you're doing full details like this, and the customer's not paying for paint enhancements or paint corrections or polishing or anything like that, they just want it protected, they want it glossy, then you really don't have to worry about that. Many customers are not even going to see that. I know it looks bad, but I'm pointing it out to you, and many customers do not even notice this at all. However, we do, and I know you do, So for this detail, we are going to use a new product that I kind of forgot about. I was researching it and then a viewer mentioned it. The Technician's Choice Ceramic One-Step Polish. So this is an all-in-one, and I love Technician's Choice. I have their ceramic coating, which we will be using at some point, and we use their detail spray, their ceramic detail spray, all the time as a standalone protection, sealant, and we also use it as a topper. So let's use this stuff. I'm just going to use my SPTA polisher, and I know I have an orange pad on here, but it's actually a cheaper and older SPTA pad, and this foam is still very soft. It's more like a light polishing. So even though it's orange, it's not the medium cutting pad like Lake Country. It's different. So this should be perfect for application. It's nice and soft, nice and thick, and it's still the beveled edges. So this actually does work great as just a light polishing pad. I just wish it wasn't orange because, you know, it should stay color coordinated, but not every company does that. They each have their own colors. So base it off the density when you feel it. It's pretty soft. It feels like the Lake Country white pads maybe. So perfect. Let's show you what we're going to do. It's not going to be a true paint enhancement. I'm simply applying it and then wiping it off, but it's going to gloss it up and it's going to remove the imperfections that we induced. So let's put a couple of drops on our pad, and this stuff smells really good. It smells like the Technician's Choice spray, of course, so they stayed with the same scent. Long working time. Yeah, so it has a nice long working time. Goes on very smooth. How's the wipe off?
Really nice.
Are you sure? It's good?
It's easy.
Okay, that's a good sign. And we're also using a really nice towel that we got in the glove box detail subscription boxes. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put it up there in the corner. I love subscription boxes. I used to get them for many different things. I have one for coffee, but now I have one for detailing, and they give you 16-ounce bottles, which is awesome. They don't give you tiny samples, they give you full bottles. So that I really appreciate. And for $30 to $35 a month, depending on which package you choose, that's an awesome deal. So these are one of the towels that came with it. Ooh, how'd it turn out? Yeah, so it definitely produced some really good gloss. And you can even tell, yeah, from here to there, it reduced some swirls, some haziness. Yeah, you can tell. The reflection, amazing. Well, that's pretty awesome. Oh, there's still, these are always annoying to work around, but we'll get those. Okay, good. So let's work around the entire vehicle and get this done, and we'll show you the afters. So this stuff is incredible. We're really enjoying it. Now, we're working outdoors. It's chilly out, but we're in full sun. But that's very different from heat and humidity in the, middle of the summer. But still, despite that, it is performing exceptionally well. Very easy to use. It got rid of the marring from the clay mitt. You're just left with the regular swirls that are in the car. However, if you were to work this like a paint enhancement, like an actual polishing, I'm pretty sure it would remove even more defects, either with a microfiber pad or with an orange cutting pad, or the Lake Country orange, that is, or any other medium cut foam pad. It is really glossing up the paint. Look at that. Man, that looks good. It is so glossy. Yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. Now, there's something interesting that this says here. It says that it can be used as a standalone, or the base layer works synergistically with either the liquid or spray, so there's no need to have an additional prep step prior to additional ceramic application. Now, I don't know if that means using a ceramic coating, any ceramic coating. So is it a primer? I don't know. Or does it mean with its own stuff? I'm assuming with its own stuff. So the other, protectants that this stuff has, that this company has, so you could just add the ceramic spray right on top of this. Obviously, it should bond because it works synergistically with it. That's kind of a cool word, synergistically. So it says with either liquid or spray. So that's kind of interesting. It's not really saying exactly, but it could be. Now, I'm assuming this could work with its own coating. So they do have their own ceramic coating. Now, this stuff is one of the cheapest ones on the market that is really good. It's supposedly supposed to be good. I haven't tried it yet, but Jason from Chicago Auto Pros is testing it, and so far he has been very impressed. You get almost 60 mils, the 59 mil bottle for around 50 and change dollars. That is not bad at all. So if you can use that polish as a primer and then apply that right over it, ooh, that could be awesome. Worst cup holders in the world. So we are almost done. You saw us just finishing up the glass here. Tip with cleaning glass is have 2 towels, at least we will have 2 towels. One of them we completely soak and then wring out, and then there's the other one with the dry towel that we use to final buff. But hit this all with the wet towel first and with your cleaner. Sometimes just the wet towel is just enough to do that. It cuts all the grease in there, lifts it onto the towel, pulls it away from the glass, and then use your dry towel to buff away any of the residue quickly. So you can do that in the full sun also. Just make sure to use that damp towel first with a little bit of your cleaner, and then saturate all the glass, and then dry buff it with the dry towel, and it should be streak free. You might need to do that maybe twice, depending on how bad it is. So now, finishing up, we're going to use the Technician's Choice Detail Spray, and I forget the number on that, I'll put it up on the screen. But basically, if you do have a little bit of light dust on here, after things are finished, you can use it as a quick detailer. But we're using it not only as that, but as the topper on that all-in-one polish from Technician's Choice. So this stuff is easy to use. Just a mist or two on the panel or on your towel, and just work into the paint. Very easy. It doesn't leave any smearing or streaks or anything like that. Very nice, clean wipe off, and that should add a lot of slickness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now it actually feels different. The all-in-one polish is nice, but this just adds that extra layer of gloss and slickness and protection. So for the tires, we're going to use Jack's Wax water-based tire and trim gel. I haven't used this on trim yet. I will, but I really like it for tires, so I'm going to use just a little foam applicator and apply it right onto the tire. This stuff we got in the glove box detail subscription box. So we got a ton of Jack's Wax stuff. Love it. And then just a little bit of the Technician's Choice on the wheel itself. So the tire does have a little bit of like curb rash on it, so it kind of like roughed it up. That will affect how the dressings will lay on the tire, but overall, still a nice clean satin look. Mercedes is done. It is looking beautiful. So even though we didn't do any type of real paint enhancing or polishing, just using that Technician's Choice all-in-one polish, basically applying it like we do our waxes or sealants with the polisher, will gloss up the paint and remove any minor marring. Really, that's the mechanical action of the pad. That's what's removing, and a little bit of the polishing attributes, removing that micro marring on the paint. But the wheels, beautiful. They cleaned up really well. Let's take a look at the interior. That also cleaned up well. You notice that we shampooed the carpets, the carpet mats that is, and some of those little spots are not going to come out. So don't let that drive you nuts. Some of those spots, even though you try to hit it with everything you can, they may not clean up. Only because you never knew who else was here cleaning it, what chemicals they used. High alkaline chemicals can set tannin stains. That's just the nature of it. But overall, you can see everything looks great. Now you're going to notice here, this is where you do not want to clean this aggressively. This is as far as we're going to go. This is the bolster. This looks like it may have been repaired at some point. It looks too good. It looks too new. And this bolster would need to be repaired. We're not going to go any further. If you try to clean that any more aggressively, you will start to remove the dye. So, gotta be careful with that. But everything else in here looks really, really nice. This is pretty awesome. This is an 07. And this thing is fancy. Lots of cool add-ons, bells and whistles, all sorts of stuff. Heated and cooled seats. And this is actually an interesting feature. It has the push start right there on the shifter, and it also has the key. So I know many vehicles have that, but for some reason this button didn't work. I don't know why when we tried to start it that way. It just either could be disabled or broken, I don't know. But I just think it's kind of a cool feature. Now, we did clean and dress the engine in here. And again, this was requested by the customer. I have them sign our agreement before we touch the vehicle, period. But especially for the engine and any type of sunroofs or, you know, convertible tops, that they would have to sign that and request it. We just don't do it because that can be a liability. So you got to be careful with that type of stuff if you are detailing as a business. She's looking beautiful, clean, glossed up, and protected. So that's going to do it for today's detail. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. But guys, if you are interested in any of the products that we use today, check out the description down below. We use a variety of stuff. And basically we do that to test out products, to have fun. I enjoy using all sorts of different products, so why not? If you're a mobile detailer and you need products that work consistently, that are affordable, then there's plenty of options out there. You don't have to get everything and try out everything and spend lots of money. You can stick with companies like Meguiar's, like 3D, even over-the-counter stuff. You can go to your local Walmart or AutoZone and pick out good chemicals and still run a business and put out quality work. So don't worry about it being a professional product or over-the-counter. Some of those guys who are saying that stuff, that you can't get good results from over-the-counter products, doesn't make sense, because huge companies like Meguiar's put out both consumer and professional grade products, but they are tweaked ever so slightly to be able to provide affordability for the consumer. So don't worry about that stuff. There's too many guys claiming that that stuff doesn't work or it's not good. It's just not true. So don't worry about that. If it works, it works. So some of it is just personal choice, and you pick and choose which products you want to use and what works for you where you are and according to your customers. So guys, if you are enjoying videos like this, and I hope you are, consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great week.